unearths a scary reality. The world is running out of water.
Imagine a river that, despite being smaller than the world's grandest watercourses and spanning a relatively short distance from one bank to the other, possesses a human history that is arguably unparalleled among all bodies of water on the planet. The body of water that we're talking about here is no other than the Jordan River. The meaning of the name Jordan is descender. This name likely originated from the Jordan River's significant descent of over 3,000 feet, stretching from its source in northern Palestine, which is approximately 50 miles north of the Sea of Galilee, to its termination at the Dead Sea. This river holds great significance for millions of people worldwide. It is supplied by three primary water sources: the Banyas River, also known as Paneas, which is the location where Peter received the key to the kingdom of heaven from Jesus, the Hatzbani River, also called Nahal Snir, and the Dan River. The river's beauty alone is captivating, but it is the religious importance attached to it that truly makes it extraordinary. It holds a central position in the rich tapestry of history, religion, and culture spanning thousands of years. It is revered as a sacred site in three prominent world religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The river holds significant events within their respective narratives: Joshua's miraculous parting of the waters and the subsequent destruction of Jericho, Jesus' baptism as described in the Gospels, and the belief that Muhammad and his companions found their final resting place along its serene banks. There is no other river that is renowned for its association with baptism than that of the Jordan River. It's witnessing nearly 1 million people being baptized annually. While this practice originated from the baptism of Jesus, the river holds additional historical significance in relation to the sacred rite of Christianity. Although baptism was not always an integral part of Christianity, the concept of using water for purification dates back to ancient civilizations, such as the Mesopotamians. However, the first recorded instance of the Jordan River being connected to the act of baptism predates the baptism of Jesus and can be found in the Old Testament. Although not an actual baptism, the similarities make it akin to a symbolic or pseudo-baptism. According to biblical accounts, Naaman, a commander in the Syrian army, suffered from leprosy and sought healing from the prophet Elisha, despite being an adversary of the Israelites. Elisha instructed Naaman to wash himself 7 times in the waters of the Jordan. Initially reluctant, Naaman eventually followed Elisha's advice after being persuaded by his advisors. To his astonishment, Naaman emerged from the river completely cured, praising the Christian God. This event can be regarded as the earliest recorded association of baptism with the Jordan River, or at the very least, the first utilization of its waters for the purpose of purification. The river has also played a vital role in the development of countries such as Palestine, including its major city, Jerusalem, as well as Egypt, Jordan, and Syria. Since ancient times, it has been a vital source of water for irrigation, sustaining agriculture and human settlements in the region. Essentially, the Jordan River has nourished the ancestors of some of the most prominent nations we see today. Additionally, the flowing water of the river has been harnessed as a source of energy through the use of dams and other generators. However, a distressing situation is unfolding concerning the Jordan River. It is slowly drying up. Contrary to the description in an old song that portrays the Jordan River as deep and wide, the present-day reality of the river is quite different. It does not possess significant depth or width. At certain points, it resembles more of a brook than a mighty river, with a width of less than 10 meters and a depth of less than 2 meters. During the winter and spring, seasonal floods occur, causing the river to expand its width significantly. From the time of Jesus until the mid-20th century, these floods would result in a width of 1.5 kilometers. Dams constructed in Syria, Jordan, Lebanon, and Israel have effectively mitigated the risk of floods in the region. Now, you might ask what caused the river to dry up. Simply put, it became a casualty of conflict and the actions of humans. It is essentially a result of what we, as people, have done to the river. This unfortunate situation is further compounded by the impact of climate change. The drying up of the Jordan River can be attributed to human activities, particularly the excessive use of its resources. The agricultural sector, which heavily relied on the river for irrigation, played a significant role in the economies of neighboring countries, particularly in terms of crop exports. Unfortunately, the drying of the Jordan River has proven to be a catastrophic event for these countries. With its rich historical significance, the Jordan River has been an eyewitness to the rise of ancient human civilizations, serving as a remarkable location for numerous archaeological findings. Let us delve further into these discoveries that have profoundly influenced the course of human history. Extensive references in the Hebrew Bible shed light on an ancient Ammonite civilization, which served as a biblical kingdom situated in the Jordan River Valley. Initially, many regarded the Ammonites as merely a product of imagination, until the unearthing of the Ammon citadel inscription in 1961. However, ongoing discoveries are gradually providing further substantiation. One recent finding, a statue of remarkable proportions believed to date back to the 8th to 7th centuries BCE, serves as additional evidence for the existence of the Ammonite kingdom as described in biblical accounts. In 2010, while renovating the Roman theater at the Ammon citadel, a sizable stone object emerged amidst the dust of ancient Roman fill. Promptly, Professor Joel S. Burnett from Baylor University in Waco, Texas, and antiquities expert Rommel Garib from the Department of Antiquities of Jordan conducted a rescue operation to salvage this substantial artifact. Burnett emphasized that this newfound discovery is unparalleled in the region, both to the east and west of the Jordan River. The Hebrew Bible frequently mentions the coexistence of the Ammonite people with the ancient Israelites. These references, amounting to 123 occurrences throughout biblical narratives, place the Ammonites in the region known as Gilead, which lies between the Jabbok and Arnon River, which is present-day Jordan. Described as one of Israel's adversarial neighbors, the Ammonites frequently formed alliances with the Moabites and Syrians against Israel. The traces of foreign artistic influences in their style provide evidence of their persistent efforts to align with Israel's enemies. Upon its successful extraction from the landfill, the team was able to fully comprehend the immense size of the colossal 2-ton stone statue. Standing at a height of 2.1 meters, this basalt statue portrays a standing Ammonite king, featuring a distinctive blend of Egyptian and Assyrian motifs, which was unique to the Ammonite culture. The statue's large head, feet, and unadorned presentation resemble the artistic styles of the Neo-Hittites and Arameans in northern Syria and southeastern Anatolia. Meanwhile, the full beard, draped clothing with fringes and tassels, and the position of the arms reflect the appearance of Assyrian kings in statuary. The classic Egyptian posture adopted by the statue's arms was widely adopted throughout the Eastern Mediterranean. This colossal statue contributes to the growing body of evidence supporting the existence of the Ammonite kingdom as described in the Bible. Another significant finding in the area was the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls. These ancient manuscripts were found between 1947 and 1956 in 11 caves near Kiryat Qumran, located on the northwestern shores of the Dead Sea. Dating back approximately 2,000 years, from the 3rd century BCE to the 1st century CE, the Dead Sea Scrolls hold immense importance beyond their age. Firstly, the Dead Sea Scrolls provide the earliest known evidence of biblical texts in the world. Most of the scrolls were written in Hebrew, with a smaller number in Aramaic or Greek. The majority of these writings were inscribed on homemade parchment, although a few were documented on papyrus. While many of the scrolls have survived only as fragments, scholars have painstakingly reconstructed approximately 950 different manuscripts of varying lengths. The manuscripts can be categorized into 3 main groups: biblical, apocryphal, and sectarian. The biblical manuscripts consist of around 200 copies of Hebrew Bible books, with fragments from every book except Esther. Among the apocryphal manuscripts are works previously known solely through translations or completely unknown to the world. The sectarian manuscripts encompass a wide range of literary genres, including biblical commentary, religious legal writings, liturgical texts, and apocalyptic compositions. Most scholars believe that the scrolls formed the library of the Essene sect that inhabited Qumran. However, it is evident that the members of this sect only wrote a portion of the scrolls themselves, while the rest were either composed or copied elsewhere. The discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls marks a pivotal moment in the study of ancient Jewish history. Never before has such a vast literary treasure been unearthed, offering invaluable insights into the lives and beliefs of the Jewish people in ancient times. The initial encounter with the scrolls was entirely serendipitous. In 1947, Bedouin, who are the indigenous people of the Negev Desert in southern Israel, stumbled upon the first 7 scrolls in a cave near Khirbet Qumran on the northwest shore of the Dead Sea. Archaeologist Sukenik promptly acquired 3 of the scrolls on behalf of the Hebrew University, while the remaining scrolls were purchased by Mar Athanasius Yeshua Samuel, the primate of the Syrian Orthodox Church of the United States in 1948. Samuel clandestinely smuggled the 4 scrolls he possessed to the United States. It was not until 1954 that Sukenik's son, Yigael Yadin, who was also an archaeologist, managed to retrieve them. Subsequently, from 1949 to 1956, additional fragments of approximately 950 different scrolls were discovered. These findings were made by both Bedouins and a collaborative archaeological expedition involving the École biblique et archéologique française and the Rockefeller Museum. Since then, no further scrolls have been unearthed, although sporadic excavations have taken place at the site and its vicinity. Another archaeological breakthrough that was made on the Jordan River was the bone remains excavated in the area, proving that humans may have inhabited the banks around 60,000 years ago. Human beings hunted large animals, including the extinct cattle species known as aurochs, at this location. However, the identity of these ancient hunters remains a mystery. Whether they were Neanderthals, modern humans, hybrids, or an unknown species has yet to be determined. What is certain is that they engaged in extensive hunting of aurochs, as evidenced by the abundance of aurochs bones at the site. Notably, the lithic assemblages found mainly consisted of pointed elements associated with spear tips and cutting tools, rather than a diverse range of tools typically seen in that time period. The evidence suggests that the site was used for short durations, perhaps only a week at a time, and served specific tasks, primarily the butchering and processing of the hunted animal carcasses. Surprisingly, the lithic assemblage indicates that the hunters did not employ complex tool use, and only a small number of spear tips showed diagnostic impact fractures. This implies that the hunters approached their prey at close proximity, risking injury or even death. This revelation challenges our assumptions about the sophistication of ancient hunting techniques. Humans were not merely surviving. They were the predators, confronting animals that were much larger and more fearsome than themselves. What's even more astonishing is that these findings do not represent the earliest evidence of human existence and active habitation in the region. Around 780,000 years ago, in what is presently northern Israel, prehistoric humans would frequently congregate by the Jordan River. They employed an advanced method of controlled fire to cook and consume enormous fish that they caught from the adjacent Lake Hula. Analyzing the remains of carp-like fish teeth found at the site revealed a specific slow-cooking method that heated the fish to a precise temperature, melting the rest of the skeleton before consumption. This discovery highlights the importance of fish in the diet and economic stability of prehistoric humans, as well as the existence of fish species that have since become extinct in the ancient Lake Hula. The Exodus, documented in the second book of the Bible, has long been a topic of scholarly discussion regarding its historical validity, particularly concerning the assertion that the Israelites migrated from Egypt during that era. However, a recent discovery suggests that potential historical evidence supporting the biblical account of the Exodus can be found in a site near the Jordan River. Archaeologists Ralph K. Hawkins and David Ben Shlomo have revealed that at the archaeological site of Khirbet el-Mastara in the Jordan Valley, there are indications of ancient ruins associated with a nomadic people believed to be the Hebrews who originated from Egypt. Excavations conducted by archaeologists have uncovered pottery fragments that can be traced back to the early Iron Age, a period commonly associated with the Israelites' departure from Egypt. These pottery remains were found in close proximity to several low stone walls, which are believed to have served as basic enclosures for livestock. During their investigation, the research team identified distinct indications of a past settlement at the site. Based on their understanding of the settlement practices of Bedouins, who were nomadic Middle Eastern Arabs, the researchers recognized the low stone walls as animal enclosures. It was noted that the nomadic Bedouins typically resided in temporary dwellings made of perishable materials, which rendered the stone walls unnecessary for their housing needs. Consequently, the team inferred that the structures were likely used to accommodate animals, while the inhabitants resided in tents situated in the vicinity. Further supporting evidence stems from the secluded location of the camp. The decision to conceal their encampment within the hills indicates that the residents of Khirbet el-Mastara harbored concerns of potential hostilities from local populations upon their arrival in this new territory. The Jordan River stands as a powerful symbol of the interconnectedness of humanity, bridging the gaps between different cultures, faiths, and historical periods, and reminding us of our shared roots and aspirations. Only time will unveil the future discoveries that await in this region. What are your thoughts about this? I hope you like our story. Until the next one.